Yes, good morning. Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. Let's go back to the old school, shall we? Let's have a little bit of fun like we used to before YouTubers all needed to make videos about each other and point score and worry about he said, she said. Let's go back to having some fun. Got a lot of shows planned for you coming up over the next week or so. Starting today, we've got this show, which, I don't know, I've said fun, but we're going to talk about Lange. We're going to read through his interview together to see what our leader, our director of football has said about Tottenham Hotspur and the shambles that we have become over the years. Then at 2:45... I'm going to be doing a live score show with a couple of guests, a bit like the old school. Remember when me, Barry and Perchy used to do the live score show? Get some sweets in, see what scores come in, just chat shit about football and have a laugh, have some fun before it all got very, very dark and gloomy. The shorts are back as well. We're taking the channel back to what made it successful. I'm sure many of you will be happy. We're going to be deleting idiot trolls from the get-go, and we're going to have some fun. How are you all? Happy Saturday, isn't it? Yes, football is back. Saturday football is back. I'm rocking the Brazil shirt. There you go. I'm rocking the Brazil World Cup shirt. If you want to rock the Brazil World Cup shirt or all of the World Cup shirts or Spurs shirts or whatever shirt you would like, go to OK Jersey, type in Savva as a code, and you get 8% off at checkout. Football and sports clothing over at OK Jersey. As a Spurs fan, it's lovely, isn't it, when you wake up to one of our leaders, one of the main men has talked about Tottenham and given a rare interview, apparently. I mean, I feel like Lange is always talking. I just don't believe a word that comes out of this man's mouth. And in case you were wondering, for anyone that thinks, I wonder if Savva gets any privileges at Tottenham Hotspur or gets invited to the box or corporate lounges. No, because I do videos like this. No, not that I would anyway, but you know what I mean. I know there's plenty of people that won't quite say it as it is. Let's do it. Let's say it without smashing my microphone to pieces. Let's say it as it is. Tottenham Hotspur, the bigger picture before we get Eureka in here crying, the bigger picture is that Tottenham Hotspur are a mess. And yet again, after another sacking, after another poor transfer window, we get the excuses. It's the same thing over and over again, isn't it? And we're going to get into it because it is. As much as people say, don't be toxic. Oh, you're toxic. Like they're 12 and in the playground. This is the reality of what Tottenham Hotspur has become. Right? We have become a club that are full of excuses. Every summer, every January, we have bad windows, and then we get a list of reasons as to why it was bad, why it was difficult, where we went wrong, how we're going to address it, where the ambition is, what they want for the club, and how everything they do. This is my favorite. This is my favorite. Who remembers this? Who remembers this, by the way? Who remembers a Spursy podcast? Cut from the Spursy podcast days. This is my favorite. It's everything we do is with the best interests of the club at heart. Shut up. How stupid do they think we are? Everything we do is with the best interests of the club at heart. I mean, they've got to take us for some sort of idiots, haven't they? If they truly, truly believe that we believe that. Who in this chat right now believes that we get to a transfer window and who thinks, yeah, they really care about the club? I look at these windows and go, you lot do the bare minimum. 2 first-team permanent signings last summer. 2 and 2 loans. But it was a great window. We did it for you. We did it for you, the fans. We did it for you. We did it because we love the club. We love the club. I don't buy any of this anymore, which is why, as I said, I got to the point where They can tell us all day, every day about finding the right manager and youth, and we're doing this and we're signing 18-year-olds over and over and over again. It doesn't mean anything, does it? It doesn't mean anything. You watch how many Spurs YouTube shows do you watch where everyone argues about the same thing and nothing's changed in years? Like, nothing's changed. Don't worry. Don't you worry. I'm going to bring it up. Look, it's there. It's ready to go. Don't you worry. In the next 5 minutes, we'll start. This is part of The Athletic, a rare interview with Johan Lange. And just a myth that we need to say. When people say this, and yet the fans carry on funding this, what people like this don't quite understand is it doesn't matter. If a season ticket holder gives up their ticket, somebody else is going to go. Whether it's a Spurs fan, a corporate fan, a tourist. This is why this just doesn't quite make sense. And I don't think people think this through. I agree. I went on a hiatus of not giving them any money for a couple of years, but it doesn't do anything. Unless the entire stadium was empty, and it's never going to be empty. It's never going to be empty. So we need to get away from that fault. So listen, we'll go through that in the next 5 minutes or so. Good morning to many of you. Big up to Tony, one of my channel members, the Spurs fan. And yes, this week there will definitely be a couple of members-only shows. We're back on it. We've got some renewed energy. We are going again. We're going to make this channel what it was, what made it popular in the first place. We're going to have some fun. We're going to do some chats. We're going to get good guests like yesterday with Dan Potts. Great guests. Oh, great cup of tea. I've got to say that. I made it for myself. Yeah, so we're going to have some more fun. As I said, join me at 2:45 today. All the live scores coming in. We've got Premier League games, of course. I'll have an acca. Nick will have an acca. Nick's definitely joining me. And maybe a few others will join me just for a bit of a laugh. And yeah, Jason, I feel like you're right here, mate. So they've been taking lessons from politicians. They deliver a performance to the supporters that delivers an empty box of promises. But we believe it every time. Not all of us, but as a fan base, don't we? I mean, no offense. Listen, I really like Alistair Gold, by the way. I think Alistair Gold's a fantastic reporter. But when he says, it's really refreshing to see Lange come out and say, it's like, is it? Like, what's he said? What's refreshing? He's come out and said the same thing we always say. January's difficult. We got this wrong. The next manager's going to be an attacking manager. It's like, none of this means anything. Fine. Bring in an attacking manager. Brilliant. Fine. Nothing against that. We all want to see attacking football. But who knows? Who knows? Like, who knows what it means without a plan in place? Maybe protests are the way forward if enough people go. I don't know. I've never believed in them, but I've gone to the last couple. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? Big up to you, Sam. Thank you very much. Thank you. I received some lovely messages overnight about the channel, which makes a change. So thank you very much. Nice to hear nice things. But look, we'll go through it in a minute. And look, it's crazy. Yeah, like JSEC says, justifying not signing players for a depleted team heading towards relegation. It is disgusting. You're absolutely right. No matter how difficult it is, there were players available. Bournemouth managed to go and get Rayan. I'll tell you what, have you watched that Rayan? What a good player he looks, right? I'm not saying we should have got him, but I'm saying other clubs managed to get players. Right? West Ham went and signed 2 to 3 forwards, and it's changed the trajectory of their season. Now, again, I know lots of people won't listen. I'm not saying I want the same players West Ham want, but West Ham went out and tried to do bits to change their course of relegation, right? Didn't they? West Ham went out and bought Pablo, they went out and bought Castellanos, and they went out and bought Traore. Now, Castellanos and Pablo, as far as I've been watching, have been starting every game. And it's had an effect. And I'm not saying, oh my God, look, those two have scored 10 goals each. But West Ham look revitalised. They look different. They look a different format. So they look like they've implemented a different format. Spurs didn't go. Spurs didn't do anything. We literally replaced Bentancur. That's what we did. No, Phil Coys. No, it is not. It's a Brazil shirt. So look, we'll go through it in a minute together, as I said, but I honestly, I don't know whether or not Johan Lange understands that we're not idiots. Like we are not idiots, mate. We do not believe, maybe some of you do. The majority, I don't think, believe a word that comes out of your mouth. You know, as we said, back Thomas Frank or sack Thomas Frank. They did neither, right? Like they did neither. And that is Tottenham all over, isn't it? That was Tottenham all over. We've got a problem here. If it's the manager, get rid. If it's the players, get in new ones. Tottenham went, nah, we'll do neither. Right? So, what do you do? What do you do? Do we listen to these? And do we have reporters telling us, really refreshing, nice to hear someone other than the manager talk? Is it? This is exactly the sort of crap we hear every year, whether it's Levy, Vinay, Paratici, Lang, Frank, Ange, Jose, whoever it is, we hear the same load of crap every single window. And yet they wheel it out. People get excited. What I'm finding so funny as well is, like, I'll tell you, I'm going to call this out. Let's see if people get frustrated or upset. Now, I didn't care, by the way. Thomas Frank talked about Arsenal and said how good they were. And everyone lost their minds. Oh, my God. My manager talking like that. Oh, he's not our manager. What did Igor Tudor do last night? Full of praise for Arsenal, wasn't he? Saying lovely things about Arsenal. I wonder if people are going to realise that that's what managers do now, or whether they're going to jump on his back immediately because he talked about how good another club was. This is where you're going to see, right? This is where you're going to see if people actually believe what they said or whether it was purely because they just hated one person, right? This is what we're going to see, right? So Igor Tudor, let me get this straight, right? So Igor Tudor came out and said, let me see if I can find this. I think I was sent to, yeah. So Igor Tudor came out and said this, right? Arsenal have the best mentality. Big respect for Arteta, right? Went on to praise them and praise them and praise them, right? When Frank did it, everyone went mad. So I just wonder, are the same people online who were bashing that? I've seen those same people on social media, by the way, going, my manager, Igor Tudor, he gets it. Hang on. You hated it when the last manager talked about Arsenal. So listen, we're going to see, right? We're going to see what happens, but I just find it hilarious. I find it so funny. I don't care that a manager talks about another club. I get it. When you are asked as the manager of Tottenham about Arsenal, you're not going to slag them off, are you? You're not. As much as fans that really don't understand the world say things like, oh, can't believe he said something nice about the scum. What do you mean? He's a professional football manager. They're bound to saying it, right? They're bound to say it. So, again, it's interesting. Look, let's get to, shall we? Let's get to Johan Lange. Let's see what Johan Lange has said. Maybe something insightful that makes us all go, oh, they do care about the club. So, listen, we'll get into it now. We'll see. Big up to each and every one of you. Smash the like button. I'm not asking for super chats or anything, but smash that like button. It's been really poor on this channel lately with the likes. 49 likes. That's all we've got. 49 likes. And don't forget, we'll be live at 2:45 for a live score show. And I'll let you know my ACCA in that score show. 6 teams today. 6. Oh, mate, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. This stadium's been built for about, what is it, 6 years? Sorry, guys and girls. Sorry, I heard a scream. I thought something was happening. Yeah, you're right. Where's the sponsors? Where's the sponsor? How has the ground not got a sponsor? It's everything's bad. Right, let's go through this, shall we? Let's go through this. Right, a rare interview with Johan Lange, but what can Tottenham fans learn from it? I'll answer that question. Absolutely sod all. There you go, and that's the end of the show. I love this. I know they've got a report. I get it. But what can Spurs fans learn from it? What? Right, let's go down. Let's have a look. Let's put this there. Right, here we go. So in starts by saying Tottenham Hotspur sporting director Johan Lange sat down with a group of reporters on Friday, including The Athletic, to reflect on a turbulent few weeks. A turbulent few weeks. Don't they mean a turbulent few decades? Spurs have not won a Premier League game in 2026 and are 5 points above the relegation zone. They have only 2 victories in the last 17 top-flight fixtures, and this alarming form led to the dismissal of head coach Thomas Frank. He was sacked 8 months into a 3-year contract and has been replaced by former Juventus, Marseille and Lazio head coach Igor Tudor on an interim basis. Now, I'll tell you what, the first thing that you've got to laugh about that, right, is Spurs have been, it's been turbulent for 2 weeks. Go away. It's been turbulent for decades. Stop blowing smoke up our arse. Just tell the truth, reporters. Tell the truth. It's been a shit show for years and years and years. Let's go on. What do they say? At the beginning of February, Fabio Paratici joined Italian side Fiorentina just over 3 months after being appointed as co-sporting director. So let me see if I can blow that up for you a tiny bit more. There we go. There we go. That should be bigger. Alongside Lange, Spurs signed Conor Gallagher and Sosa in the winter transfer window, but have suffered a series of injuries, which means their squad is in a perilous state. A perilous state that we did nothing to try and help. Brilliant. Go Spurs. Well done. Well done, Spurs. What's that? You got 12 to 13 injuries. Yeah, we'll wait till the summer. We'll just sack the manager. That'll be the easy thing to do. We'll just sack the manager because it gets the fans on board that don't like him. Tudor was 100% certain that Spurs would still be in the Premier League next season, but admitted it was an emergency situation. Lange addressed all of those topics, and The Athletic has analysed the key talking points. Oh, have they? Have they analysed? Let's see what they analysed. Here we go. On the sacking of Thomas Frank. Here we go, people. There's a first comment. Oh, what's he going to tell us? What's he going to tell us that makes us go, yeah? As the leaders, shut up, mate. As the leaders, we, of course, constantly evaluate performances. Sure, we evaluate results. And after the Newcastle game, we made the decision. Ultimately, of course, it was a board decision. But we made the decision, and that was why we decided it was the right time to change. Of course, we wanted to give Thomas every opportunity to succeed. We'll come back to that in a minute. But ultimately, it's our responsibility to make the decisions. And we came to that point where we saw the performances, the results, and then you come to that decision. Now, I don't disagree that the performances and the results meant the manager needed to be sacked. But that sentence, we wanted to give Thomas, take the word Thomas out, chuck in any manager you want. We wanted to give the manager every opportunity to succeed. Did you? Every opportunity. You had a shit summer window. You did nothing in January. Don't give us that nonsense that you wanted to give any manager a chance to succeed. Absolute nonsense. I'd love Lange to come on this channel. He is one of the worst things that's ever happened to Tottenham Hotspur. I'm not blaming him for the decades of what we've seen, but this is just absolute nonsense. Anyway, he goes on to say, I think you saw over a period of time with the performances and the results why we came to that conclusion. It goes on to say, Lange and Frank worked together for the first time around 20 years ago at Danish second division side B93. They crossed paths again at Lyngby before they had individual success in English football with Aston Villa and Brentford, respectively. Unfortunately, their reunion at Spurs turned sour. They had a close bond, but it was Lange and Chief Executive Officer Vinay who informed Frank he was losing his job. Brilliant. Lange and Venkatesham offered Frank a lot of support. They surrounded him with experienced assistant coaches and gave him time to turn results around. I love this. I love this. After fans became concerned following disappointing defeats by Chelsea and Arsenal in November. I love this. I absolutely love this, right? So they surrounded him with experienced coaches. Why can't that say they surrounded him with top players? Again, guys, this isn't about Frank. This is about Spurs, not Frank. It makes you laugh. It's complete incompetence, isn't it? And negligence. It's just lies. What did I say? Excuses, lies, and BS. That's all this is from Johan Lange. It's excuses, it's lies, and it's BS. Anyway, let's keep going. Frank insisted performances were encouraging until the very end. He saw a 4-match unbeaten run, which included scraping a draw against Burnley as a positive. The club fans did not agree, and Lange and the rest of the board clearly felt that those results masked disappointing performances. Spurs made a habit of starting games slowly and looking better in the second half, but were never convincing. Back-to-back defeats by United and Newcastle were the final straw for Lange, Venkatesham, and the board. Sure. Whilst I don't disagree, by the way, listen, I'm not out here going, oh my God, Frank should have stayed. I don't disagree. But it's the context in which it's being said, as though it's as though we've got Arsenal's squad and we're not getting results. It's as though we're not seeing that we were 17th last year, 16th this year. At no point have you noticed Lange, from a Spurs perspective, the people from the press and the Athletic, at no point do any of these people seem to want to address the fact that this squad is really weak. It's like they can't do it. It's like we're not allowed to tell the truth. All of those fans that have kidded themselves that this squad is good, fine, knock yourselves out. But no one wants to address it. No one wants to address it. Forget the manager. No one wants to address it. Do they? No one wants to turn around and go, but did Lange back Frank? Did they do everything they could have in January? And we'll get there. So on the appointment of Igor Tudor, welcome to the club, Igor Tudor, by the way. As I said, welcome and good luck. When you make the decision to sack a manager during the season, it's very important to go into a shorter process than you do if you are changing a head coach over the summer. We interviewed a few candidates and Igor impressed us very much. Obviously, we also got references for Igor. Oh, that's good. They got some references. Nice. He comes in with very big experience at the highest level in football. He has shown the capabilities of coming into clubs around this time, February, March, and making an immediate impact. Fingers crossed, guys and girls. Fingers crossed. That was, of course, a very big reason. There is a big difference. If you're a coach, for example, who has only ever started a new job on July the 1st, you have 6 or 7 weeks to prepare and get to know the club. If you come in here on the Monday and you are playing at the weekend, you need to build relationships with the players and assess the style of the club immediately. He has shown that with great success, not only once, but a few times. That is one of the reasons we believe he is the best candidate now. But of course, also with his reputation and what he's done in his career, if things go well, he could be here for a long time. Okay, there we go. So he could be here for a long time. We were told there was no chance. Now the man himself, Lange, is saying, hey, win games, you could be our full-time manager. Bearing in mind, this is a manager who's had 11 clubs in 11 years or something like that. So what are we saying? Is this an interim manager? Is this the manager-elect in waiting? I don't know. Absolutely barbaric. Absolutely. Should have got some references on Johan Lange. Listen, I'm not blaming Johan Lange for everything, but it's ridiculous, isn't it? They think we're stupid. So, Igor Tudor, there you go. He could be here for a long time. That is out of the horse's mouth. That's not a journalist. That is out of Johan's mouth. Tudor ticks a lot of boxes for Spurs. He has no experience in the Premier League, but was an assistant coach to Andre Pirlo. What a player, by the way, at Juventus in the 2021 season, and had a 7-month spell in charge of the Italian side last year. He is accustomed to working for a club with big expectations. Oh, sod off. What big expectations have Spurs got? What? Sod off. Who are they talking to? Like, we are grown adults, most of us, apart from the trolls. Who do they think they're selling this crap to? What are we doing? A club with big expectations. We've won 1 trophy in 17 years and we just buy teenagers. What expectations? The fan base don't even care, most of them. The fan base don't even care. They get annoyed if you talk about it. Oh, how funny is this? So funny. Anyway, oh, I love this. I love this. Big up my man Chris CC. Said, so he is saying he's not the best man for the job, but the best instant impact man. If so, then why would he say he could be here for a few years if he's not the best man for the job? Bingo. Oh, gosh, I love this football club so much. We are just one big cluster, aren't we? I won't use the F word, but we are one big cluster. Exactly, Aaron. Aaron, they think we were born yesterday. Honestly, I would love to have an interview with Johan Lange. Do you know, never going to happen, by the way. I'm not that stupid. But I would love to just go, Johan, look, as a Spurs fan for 40 odd years, I'm going to sit and tell you that me and most of my viewers, we don't believe a word of this, mate. You've said this, but do this. You've said that, but do that. It's just noise. What do you got to say for yourself? Anyway, here you go. During his time working with Pirlo, Juventus' squad included Ronaldo, Dybala, Buffon, and Chiellini. Oh, God, well, welcome. You've got Bergvall, Gray, Richarlison, Odegaard, Tell. As well as current Spurs players, Kulusevski, Rodrigo Bentancur, and Radu Dragashin. But Tudor has experience managing big egos. What big egos have Spurs got? What player in Spurs squad can possibly have a big ego when they keep finishing in the bottom half of the table? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Are we dumb? What are we doing here? Tudor likes to play the 3-4-2-1 system. And crucially, in previous mid-season roles at Udinese, Juventus and Lazio, it has not taken too long for the squad to adapt to his ideas. Cool. I look forward to it. Let's see. Spurs considered their former striker Robbie Keane as a replacement for Frank on an interim basis, and that option would have appealed to supporters. But in Tudor, they have hired someone with a track record of making an immediate impact. Lange refused to confirm whether Spurs spoke to Paratici, who previously worked with Tudor at Juventus, during the hiring process. I don't need Lange to tell me that we talked to Paratici about this. It's bloody obvious, isn't it? It is bloody obvious. It's, oh my God, honestly, I find this hilarious. I don't know about you lot. I think this is hilarious. Like, I genuinely think this is hilarious. We literally get sold crap every week from these owners and from their employees, don't we? Right. Shall we move on? Shall we move on to on the manager position long term? Let's go for it. Lange said, oh, here we go. More nonsense. Where have we heard this before? Style of play is definitely something high up on the list. Yeah, yada, 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 yada. We are very ambitious. Oh, shall I just stop at the word ambitious? We are very ambitious to create a team that can play dominant football and that can control matches with the ball for a few reasons. Shut up. You have had years and years and years to buy these types of players, and you never have, Lang. You never have. You didn't buy them for Conte. You didn't buy them for Jose. You didn't buy them for Ange. You didn't buy them for Nuno. You didn't buy them for Frank. And now you're sitting here saying we want to create a dominant team that can control matches. How much can I say? F off. What a load of dribble. Sorry, any Spurs fan that believes this paragraph here, yeah, sorry, that is absolute delusion. Right? We want to build a team. We're ambitious to build a team that can play dominant football and control matches. Shut up. If that's the case, why don't we buy wingers that can control the ball? Why don't we buy ball-playing midfielders that can control a game of football? Oh, but Frank doesn't want that type of player. Ange doesn't want... Every manager wants a player that can control a game of football. Doesn't matter who you are. Every manager, whether it's a deep lying playmaker or a box-to-box number 8 that controls the game, everyone wants that type of player. This is ridiculous. This has got to be the what? Honestly, I don't know. When he gave this interview, what is he? Is he thinking that we are going to read this and go, "Oh, good"? This is mad. This is everything that people like myself and others have been saying. Petro, mate, what do you mean? I've wanted the owners out since 2007, and I've been asking for about 10 years for a plan. I don't know what you're saying about seeing the light. I've no idea what you're saying about I'm glad you got there. Do you mean I was there before you, mate? Nothing's changed. Just because I didn't like Ange didn't mean I didn't know the bigger issues at the club. Anyway, if you look across almost every league in the world, that is how the top teams normally are successful. Being able to dominate possession, create chances, be aggressive without the ball. I'll go back to this, right? I'll go back to this. Then buy those footballers. Buy those footballers that dominate possession, that create chances, and that are aggressive without the ball. Stop buying children. Stop buying kids for the future, and then you come out and tell us that that's what you want. How many years have people said since Dembele went, we need a ball-playing midfielder? Right? I've got no problem. Next to the ball-playing midfielder, you put a Conor Gallagher. Fine, that's great. Do it. But where's the ball-playing midfielder? Where is it? This is absolutely scandalous. I really hope somebody at the club watches this. I know they won't, but somebody watches this and shows this to people like Vinay and Lang. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to us, Johan. If you want a ball-playing midfielder that controls and dominates games, you had a whole summer to go and buy one and you didn't. We didn't. And now we're all going, oh, we want to dominate games. All right. Who's doing that in the Spurs team? This is where fans need to realise as well. When fans go, oh, we want to dominate games. Cool. Which midfielders dominate the ball in our team? You've got DMs and box-to-box midfielders. You've got no ball-playing midfielders. And our fans go, oh, we only had 40% possession. Yeah, because you didn't buy the right footballers for the managers, did you? Now, why was Poch able to do it? Poch had people that could dominate a ball. Dembele, Ericsson, these people are super, super comfortable on the ball. They dictate games. Someone like that. Someone like an Angelo Stiller. That's your man. Somebody like Angelo Stiller. So sorry, Johan. You want to dominate games of football and possession? Why aren't we seeing Angelo Stillers at this football club? I'm not saying just him. I'm just using him as an example. Why aren't we seeing Adam Whartons, Angelo Stillers, Edisons? Why are you not buying those players? Yeah? What's he going to say? We want people that create. All right, well, here's another one. Lookman scores goals and assists. Why didn't we get him? If you were going to sack Thomas Frank anyway, if we're saying Thomas Frank didn't want him, why didn't you go and get him as a club? Why? Stop saying, not you, Kirill. Stop saying things that aren't true, Tottenham. Stop telling us that we want to play attacking football, but you don't buy the players to play attacking football. Stop telling us that you want to compete. Stop telling us that you're ambitious. Go and make it happen. Go and make it happen. Yeah, I mean, Gundogan struggled. So did Mesut Ozil. Michael Ballack. I mean, come on. Let's carry on. Let's see what else they're feeding us. Here we go. Then we are also a club with a rich history. Oh, God, here we go. Of having some of the best defensive players in the world and having I'm so angry reading this. Like, I'm so angry reading this, but smiling at the same time, right? Some of the best defensive players in the world and having a very particular style of play that resonates with the history, resonates with the fans. And I think that combined with having a possession-dominant, aggressive style of play, those two things go hand in hand. Of course, that is something that is important for us here at the club. Again, F off. Stop lying to us, Johan. Right? If you want attacking players, look at the attacking players you have bought in the last 3 years. Hell, Odegaard, Valise, Yang, Richarlison, Solanke. Stop buying average footballers if you want us to have top attacking talent. Stop. This is ridiculous. This is what I mean, guys. This is what I mean. You know, when you're all saying, right? Not all of you. You know, when people are saying to me, oh, get off Odegaard's back and Tell's back. Well, hang on. I've got the club on one hand telling me we want to get back to having some of the world's best attacking talent. And then they're buying average young kids and hoping that they get better. Which one is it, Spurs? Which one is it? We're not dumb. We are not dumb, Tottenham. This is the worst interview I think he could have given, because so far everything is one massive lie. And the only way they can prove that this isn't a massive lie is in the summer, get rid of Lange, bring in a director of football that has that philosophy, bring in a manager under that director of football that has that philosophy, and bring in those footballers that have that philosophy. There are good players everywhere that we can easily afford, that we can easily pay their wages, but we don't do it. We don't do it. Again, we buy these young players. People lose their minds about them. Archie Gray passes the ball 10 yards. Oh, he's a good player. That Gray. I don't want to watch Archie Gray. No offense. I don't want to watch Archie Gray. I don't support Tottenham to watch kids who might be good in 3 years. If I did that, I'd go and watch the Spurs under 21s. So sorry if people are finding this too much of a rant on this show, but this is just ridiculous. Stop lying to us, Johan. He's saying this is important for us at the club to play attacking football, to have top forwards, to control games, yet none of their actions show it. Words, this is the first thing my man Chris B sent me earlier. He said, actions are everything. Actions are everything. This is words, isn't it? Words. This is like me saying to my wife, I'm taking you to Barbados. It's like me saying it every single month for 5-10 years. We're going to Barbados. And never do I take her. But we go to Butlins. And every year she's going, what about Barbados? We're going to go there soon. It's my ambition to go there. Doesn't mean anything. We're going to Butlins. We're having a Butlins weekender. Don't get me wrong. Bloody good for a stag do. But you don't want to go on holiday there with your other half. It is, Tom. It's a word salad, isn't it? If you say all the buzzwords, fans buy into this BS, don't they? Look at all the buzzwords in this sentence. Here we go. All the buzzwords: aggressive, dominant, possession, right? Style of play, offensive players, world class, history. Everything they say is what the fans want to hear. Everything they say is what the fans want to hear. And most fans go, oh, yeah, I like that. We're going to do. And then we get to the summer and you go on. Nah, didn't make it happen again. Don't worry. We signed Takai from Japan. Fine. Okay. Why? This is, guys and girls, for me, this is not rocket science, right? This is, before we move on, this is not rocket science. If you want to be an aggressive, dominant, possession-based football team, then it has to start from the top and you must buy the players that are capable of playing that way. You can insert any manager you want, but long-term, players will only be able to play that way consistently if they are built that way. For example, Michael Carrick, who I've talked about a lot this week, was a dominant possession midfielder, right? Give Michael Carrick the ball, he will start the moves off. Modric, Rodri, Enzo Fernandez, these types of players, they do that. Tottenham have gone and bought box-to-box midfielders galore. Gray, Bergvall, Gallagher, Sarr, Benton, box-to-box. Not one of them, not one of the centre mids we've bought in the last 5 years is a ball-playing, possession-based midfielder. And it doesn't matter how much we talk about it, you get to the window, never seem to buy it. Now, can Spurs get to this window and go, right, Adam Wharton, I don't know, just for example, Angelo Stiller. Right, come in. We're going to build a team around you. You are coming in. You're our main man. You're the main man. We want you to sit on the fulcrum of midfield. Everything's going to go through you. You are going to be at the base of the midfield and you dictate play. And we have not bought that over and over and over and over again. And we've had the chance. You look at the last, who's the last 5 centre mids this football club have bought? Bentancur, Sarr, Basuma, Gray, Bergvall, Chuck Gallagher in 6, right? Look at those 6 central midfielders. They're the last 6 central midfielders Tottenham have bought. Not one of them is a ball-playing midfielder. And that doesn't mean, I like Gallagher, by the way. I think Gallagher is the perfect foil for a ball-playing midfielder. Ball-playing midfielder, Conor Gallagher next to him, then a Xavi Simons or a James Maddison. Nope. Nope. We don't do it. Let's move on. What is he waffling about now? Okay. Have the club discussed permanent manager options? Oh, this should be fun, shouldn't it? And then they asked about Maurizio. So Lange sidestepped this by saying, Igor has been here for 5 days. Our focus right now is to get high up in the table in the league, focusing on the Champions League as well. I'm not going to comment on any names that have been linked to the job. Okay. Lange kept his cards close to his chest, but it was important to acknowledge that hiring a manager who can implement an attractive style of football is crucial for the fans, blah, blah, blah. They became disillusioned during Frank's reign because Spurs struggled to create chances from open play and only won 2 games. Maybe if you gave him some players that scored goals and assists, just maybe, it'll be different. Lange, Venkatesham and the rest of the board should identify the club's preferred style of play. God, no shit, Sherlock. They should then hire a head coach who they believe can fit into that mould. Sure. For too long, Spurs have jumped between managers with different ideas. Frank and Ange Postecoglou are the prime example of that, which means there is no consistency across their recruitment. They end up with a squad consisting of players who suit different tactical systems. Last summer, they were interested in Bournemouth's Andoni Iraola and Fulham head coach Marco Silva before they appointed Frank. The only thing those 3 had in common was that they were in charge of smaller Premier League sides. It would be encouraging to see Spurs demonstrate a clear vision of who they target to replace Frank, instead of assembling a list of talented managers with wildly different ideas. I mean, state the obvious, right? State the obvious. Isn't that what most people have been saying? Can we please get a philosophy, an identity, and stick to it? And as I said, I don't care what that is, but stick to it. Do I want to see all-out attacking football? I mean, not all out. I don't want all-out attacking football where we don't defend. But, you know, I'd like to see us play some attacking football, but I also acknowledge that you've got to implement that from the top. You can't just bring in an attacking manager and go on. You know, all the pieces of the jigsaw have to fit in together, don't they? They have to fit in together. Have to. On whether the club hierarchy deems the current situation unacceptable. This should be. I've not read this all the way through, by the way. I've read bits of it. No, Daniela, no. Basuma's not a ball player midfielder in any way, shape, or form. No, he's a box-to-box worker, isn't he? Right. Here we go. We have just changed the coach. We are very clear that we think we have a team that has potential to do more. So the focus right now is to get high up the table and then be super competitive in the Champions League. I love this. We might have a front three tomorrow of Mawani, Tell, and who else? And we're talking about being super competitive. It's just mental. It's mental. And again, if everyone can put aside whichever manager they like or don't like and actually look at the bigger picture, I think you'll agree. I'm sure you have been to many great nights at the stadium in Europe over the last 2 seasons. Nope. And it is our hope that we can create more magic moments in that tournament. But we also know that we need to get higher in the league table. Sure. When you work in sports across football or individual sports, it is about focus on the performance. When you are among players or coaches, the focus is on the next training session. It is on the next game. That is the reality of working in sports. It's not talking about, but of course we know where we want to go as a club, and we can come back to that. Oh, shut up! Just again. Notice we know what we want. We know where we're going. We know what we're implementing. Yet as fans, we never see it. Like we never see it at all. We never see it. I don't think there's nearly 500 people in here at the moment. I don't think any of you can see what we're doing. And this isn't just Frank. This is under Frank, under Ange, under Conte, Jose, Nuno. I don't know what we're doing as a club. When you work for a big club like Tottenham, then pressure, or what you want to call it, is part of it. I'm sitting here today because I want to take responsibility for the club. Shut up, mate. Everything that comes into football. Part of being here is expectations. What expectations? That is part of why it's fantastic to be here. Because if you are working for a big club, there are big expectations, but also big opportunities and big possibilities. What does that mean? I read that, and in my own mind, I'm going, what? Expectations, opportunities, possibilities. Keep saying the buzzwords. Brilliant. But you're not doing it in the transfer windows. You can keep saying it. You can keep selling the lie, but you're not doing it. You're not doing it. Do you know what this reminds me of, right? I'm a bit older now. When I was, 20? What year are we in? When I was 21, I worked in Greece for a couple of years as a DJ, living the life, living the dream. And I worked in a bar, and the manager, Yanni, great guy. I went back to see him last year in Greece, or 2 years ago. Yanni had this big sign above the bar, right? A big sign across the bar that said, free drinks tomorrow, right? Free drinks tomorrow. And all these English holiday goers, they come into the bar. They go, oh, free drinks tomorrow. And Yanni would go, yeah, free drinks tomorrow, right? Free drinks tomorrow. You know what they do? These groups of people, they come back and they go, free drinks today. And he'd go, no, free drinks tomorrow, right? You get my metaphor here. It's always tomorrow. It was always going to be tomorrow. And this is what we're getting here from Johan Lange, the worst director of football I've ever seen at Spurs. Tomorrow. tomorrow. We're working towards it. Have a look. Look, let me highlight this bit for you. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this nonsense here. Have a look at the words used. Responsibility. Expectations. Right? Expectations again. Opportunities. Possibilities. Right? It's just nonsense. Stop saying things, Johan. Stop saying what you don't do. Now, this might not just be Johan Lange. This is going to be on Vinay and it would have been on Levy and Charrington. But this is what we do. Tomorrow, what's that film? Tomorrow never comes. What's that film? Oh, what's that film? Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Isn't it from, if you want to be a boxer, gotta be the best. Oh, somebody must be old enough to know what I'm singing there. Somebody in the chat. That's going to really annoy me. Bugsy Malone? No. Bugsy Malone? Oh, I don't know. Oh, God, I don't know. It's Bugsy Malone. It is Bugsy Malone, isn't it? Yes, the old Bugsy Malone. Yeah. Annie. Not bloody Annie. Anyway, let's carry on. Oh, God. No, it was Malia. It was Malia. It wasn't Valaraki. It was Malia, mate. It was Malia. Oh, I've got some pictures of me from oh, wow. Yeah. Hang on. Where are we? Sorry, my things just stopped working. Bear me 1 second. Everyone. We'll get back into it. Anyway, I'll show you later a picture of me DJing in Greece. It's hilarious. I was skinny. Yeah, good times. Anyway. Yeah, so all this nonsense is just nonsense. And this is what makes me laugh, right? We sit here as a fan base and we all sit around and we all, panel shows go, I think this, and the club should do this and blah, 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 blah. None of it means anything because none of us have seen the change that we asked for. I see people go, I told you this years ago. Sure, we've all said things for years. Nothing's changing. Anyway, here we go. Let's go down. If you work for a very small club, if you work for a club with fewer fans, then maybe there's less pressure or expectation. I think we are a big club and we work with high expectations. Again, notice how many times he's saying expectations, right? I personally really look at this absolute nonsense. Look at this. I personally really love working here because of the expectations. Then why are all our transfer windows shit? What expectations? There are no expectations at all. There are no expectations because you know why? We finished 17th last year. We're currently sitting 16th this year. You've just had a window in which we have got the most injuries for any club in European football. And what did you do to help? Nothing. Where were your expectations? Here we go. Let's carry on. Lange has come under a lot of scrutiny in the last few weeks, so he deserves credit for speaking. 1 second. Sorry, everyone. I put you on mute because I was shouting at Stanley. All right? I love this. Lange, again, look at these people. I'll call it out. People from The Athletic. Alistair Gold does this. Look, he deserves credit for speaking publicly. Oh, shut up. What do you mean? He's not telling us anything. What's he saying? So he deserves credit for speaking publicly. Lange and Tudor, who held his first press conference a couple of hours later, both skillfully skipped around the word relegation. Of course they did. Lange's desire for more magic moments. Oh, shut up. Just shut up, right? I mean, just shut up. Lange's desire for more magic moments in the Champions League is admirable, but perhaps that should be a longer-term ambition, even with next month's round of 16 tie against either Bruges, Galatasaray, Juventus or Atleti. He is right to acknowledge that the focus has to be on climbing the Premier League table. Oh, None of us thought about that. What? What? We need to get higher at the table. What a visionary this man is. Yes, he is very right to acknowledge that. Absolutely ridiculous. Here we go. This should be fun, shouldn't it? This section on transfers and Postecoglou saying Spurs don't spend like a big club. Oh, what nuggets are we going to unearth here, ladies and gentlemen? Just quickly before we go to that, big up to Sanctuary of Seven, who has said, do you think we'll go down, Savva? No, I never thought we'd go down. But, hey, more and more injuries, less and less goals in this team. It's going to be a worry, but no, I don't think we're going to go down. If we do, it is catastrophic. And big up to Jordan with a £20 super chat. Always super generous to me, this guy. Thank you, Jordan. Said, Lang, is everything wrong with Tottenham right now? Bang on the money. A wage thief being paid to underperform in his job and rolls out excuse after excuse. Love that sentence. A wage thief. I wish someone would evaluate Lang's performances so they can sack him. Damn straight. Best super chat ever. He is everything wrong with Tottenham right now, Jordan. You are absolutely bang on the money because they wheel him out and fans, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you lot in the chat, but there will be fans reading this and buying this BS. We have heard this before. We have heard this over and over again. This is what we want to do. This is what we want to implement. We've got chucking the buzzwords, ambition, project, possibilities, expectations. Bleh. It's just a vomit full of words, isn't it? It's just nonsense. And I'm not seeing one person disagree in the chat, by the way. I feel like everyone is there now, right? I think all of us have had enough. I think all of us have had enough. I mean, online. I mean, I don't know about the ground, but it's just nonsense. So here we go. On transfers and Postecoglou saying that Spurs don't spend like a big club. This is what Director of Football Johan Lange had to say. Now we are playing a different format. He's talking about the Champions League. It means every point counts. Thanks for that. You go into match day 8, correct me if I'm wrong, but almost every team in the Champions League or Europa League had something to play for, whether that was be it better seeding or top 8. You are playing through December, not in the beginning of January, but the last part of January. You are playing 2 very competitive matches with the fact that not only us, but a lot of teams have what they would say are too many injuries. No, mate, we've got more than any club in Europe, Johan, and you didn't sort it out in January. Let's see the excuse from this guy as to why. Here we go. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we all want to hear from our illustrious leader. It meant that in January, very few players who would make a difference for us now or in the future were available. Absolute bullshit. I'm calling it right now. Sorry, Lookman wouldn't have made a difference. John Duran wouldn't have made a difference. Moussa Diaby wouldn't have made a difference. This is absolute nonsense. Akliouche wouldn't have made a difference. Oh, and then it's back to the point, even though the squad is too short, we still have players we are unable to register for the last 16. So to bring in players that cannot help us now or we don't believe have potential for the future, that unfortunately for me doesn't make sense. Just what? Oh, my God. And if you analyse all the transfers in January, I think everyone can see there were very few players available. Dude, that's your job. That's your job, Johan. That's your job. That is reality. And then, as you say, looking towards the summer, the message has been clear from the owners of the club. Boring. Vinay has been on record saying this as well. I've been saying this as well. I'm very happy to repeat it. Sure, keep telling us the lies. That the sole focus of this club is to create on-pitch success. Guys, put in one word, please. What would you like to say to Johan Lange? For that sentence alone, I'm happy to repeat it, that the sole focus is to create on-pitch success. Feel free, chuck in a word. Be as rude as you want. I'm not going to block anyone. Say what you want within reason. It's just ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. So Sosa was brought in, but then he's telling us that there's no players better than Sosa to bring in who we think would be good for the future. It's absolutely ridiculous. Who is believing this bullshit? Who is believing this? This is like, who remembers the song by Shaggy? Do you remember? It Wasn't Me. Who remembers that? She saw me on the counter. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Just going to lie. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. It's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. They are gaslighting us. Oh, Vinay said it. So Vinay's on record and you're on record saying that you want what's best for the club and did nothing in the January transfer window and signed 2 permanent players in the summer. Shut up, Johan. It is to be competitive across different tournaments, and very importantly, one of the ingredients in doing that is you have a squad capable of competing on multiple fronts. And we are not there yet, but that is the clear vision. We're not there yet. That is the understatement of the century. You've not even tried to get there, Johan. You signed 2 permanent players in the summer. Kudus and Xavi, 2. You told us in the summer, we want to compete on all 4 fronts. Now, 7, 8, 9 months later, we're not there yet. Well, yeah, we're not there yet because you're not doing what you need to in the transfer windows. Oh, guys and girls, this gets my blood curling. This does. What an absolute load of waffle. Happy Saturday, everyone. These are the people running our club. Lookman doesn't make us better, though. Just remember, doesn't make us better. Akliouche doesn't make us better. John Duran on loan for till the end of the season doesn't make us better. Don't worry, we'll play Telemawani up front. Ridiculous. Absolute lies. You're a fraud. Lange refused to directly address criticism from former head coach Postecoglou, and he did not give an insight into Tottenham's long-term recruitment strategy because they don't have one. They do not have a recruitment strategy. That's why he can't go into it. Spurs signed Gallagher and Sosa in January, but they sold Brennan Johnson to Palace at a time when Frank needed help. He was left with a squad filled with holes. Yep. Let's see what Lange says about that. I bet nothing. Lange's comments in a previous section about big opportunities at a big club are relevant here. It sounds nice, but all of the momentum from winning last season's Europa League was thrown away. Bang on the money there. Spurs wasted an opportunity in the aftermath by failing to land any of their first choice transfer targets. Gibbs-White, Eze, Semenyo. Lange also said he understood fans' frustration with Frank's apparent satisfaction with how close the club came to signing Semenyo, acknowledging that they wanted to see action and not words. I can't stand Johan Lange. Lange also referenced comments Venkatesham made in the matchday programme before last month's defeat by West Ham about growing the wage bill to be competitive. It is, oh, here we go, some nonsense. It is encouraging that Lange and Venkatesham recognise an area where Spurs need to catch up to their rivals, but actions speak louder than words. They need to show they have learned from their mistakes this summer. This was the first transfer window since former executive chairman Daniel Levy left in September. Paratici's impending exit would have affected the dynamics, while Carlos Mawson has been appointed to the newly created role of Director of Football Operations. It will be hoped that things will be more settled going forward. It's just words. What is this? Sorry, guys. There shouldn't be a protest to get ENIC out. First and foremost, there should be a protest to get this fool out of the football club. This is shocking. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. I'm sure he's a lovely guy, but this is ridiculous. This man is one walking contradiction. This is absolutely disgusting what we're reading here. So no one, listen to what he said, right? This is a squad that has about 14 first team players fit right now. And he's telling us that no one was available in January that's better than what we've got. What a load of codswallop. What an absolute load of BS. This, another failed suit trying to justify his failure. Absolutely. Not just his failure, but this is, I'll tell you what, the more I read this, the more I just go, what is this football club? And again, notice, we all said this. We all said this in January. We will have a shit window and then they will start coming out with all the lines ready for the summer. We see this every year. Shut up. And you know what? They won't let people like me on Sky Sports or Talk Sport to tell the truth. They get the same shills that say the same nice things every time. I'm not saying it has to be me, but get someone on Talk Sport or Sky Sports that's going to sit there and rip into this. Rip into it. It's just nonsense. Let's see what our beloved leader said about injury, shall we? Oh, gosh, this football club. What is very important to say is that on the one hand, we have a short squad. And on the other hand, we also had players who could not be registered for European competitions because we have too many players. It is without a doubt, especially during the month of January, that we had too many injuries. Every time we played, we lost players. It's something we are constantly reviewing with the greatest level of seriousness. Oh, shut up. No, you're not. I think if you are unpicking the injuries that we had in January, then a few of them were actually contact injuries. I don't care what injuries they were. Or I don't know if it's the right word in English, but solo injuries. Odeberg, the knee goes, or Ben Davis, or Bergvall, or Danso. I can't read that bit. Lange has avoided directly addressing the real issue, which is the number of soft tissue muscle injuries that Spurs have suffered in the last couple of months. Adogi ruled out for up to 5 weeks with a hamstring problem. Jeb Spence missed games. Mohamed Kudus will not return until April. Pedro Porro, Richarlison, Bentancur will miss games too. Spurs are grappling with an injury crisis for the second season in a row. The expanded Champions League and the Europa League are undoubtedly factors, but Spurs need to identify areas for improvement. Maybe it is the consequence of a dizzying amount of change in the medical department over the last 2 years. It's hoped the appointment of Lewandon will provide stability and leadership. Oh, God, more appointments, innit? Have you noticed? More appointments. Changing this person, changing that person. This will change that. Nonsense. It's just nonsense, isn't it? Nonsense. So frustrating. Oh, now let's talk about Christian Romero. Brilliant. Another leader at the club. Romero is here. He is our captain. He is here on a long-term contract with the club, and that is my comment. We have been clear as a club that we have dealt with his comments on social media about the club hierarchy internally, and now it's about being together, all of us. Yeah, he really looked like we were all together when he got sent off for a ridiculous challenge. Before Frank was sacked, Romero was the centre of attention for his awful disciplinary record and habit of firing shots at the club. He is currently serving a 4-match ban, but his 4th suspension of the season. Yeah, but don't worry, guys and girls, this is our captain. Look, I'll stop reading that there. I mean, guys, girls, what a load of shit, right? What a load of nonsense. I want to be able to sit here as a content creator and as a Spurs fan and go, yeah, I get that. Yeah, actually, that's good. And maybe, for example, if Liverpool's owners came out with something like that, you go, okay, cool, yeah, get it. How many times do we have to hear this nonsense? No players were available better than what we've got in January. Are we dumb? Am I dumb? Are you dumb? Are we all dumb? Are we all dumb? Literally. Are we all going to bed going, yeah, he's right. There's no players better than Archie Gray. There's no players better than Odegaard on the wing. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Has anyone watched that Rayan play for Bournemouth, right? So I mentioned him earlier. Watch him and then watch Odegaard and tell, right? But no one's available that's better. And by the way, I'm not saying we should have bought Rayan, but when we're saying no one's available, every time Romero speaks, Lang speaks, Vinay speaks, it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing, isn't it? Every time they open their mouth. Exactly, Jeremy. Exactly. Fourth suspension of the season whilst facing massive injuries and relegation. But he's our captain because he calls out people going, my captain. Sorry, my captain, your captain that's left us with less players because he can't control his emotions. Really? That's not my captain. That's not my captain. My captain would be level-headed. My captain will realise, yeah, we're up a shit creek without a paddle, right? Let's see. Yeah. How many people? Not good enough for Spurs. Let's have a look what Lookman has done at Atletico already. So I love it. He's good enough for Atletico. It's a bit like Conor Gallagher, isn't it, right? Good enough for Atletico and Simeone, but Spurs fans don't think they're good enough for us. Here you go. So he has got... So he got 1 goal in 1 Champions League game and 4 goals across 4 GA across 4 League and Cup games. So in 5 games, he's got 5 GA. Not good enough for Spurs. Not good enough for Spurs. Let that sink in. Think of all... I know we don't pick the players. Think of all those fans that sat there going, wouldn't want Lookman. He's got an attitude. Same fans going, Romero, my captain. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. The whole thing from top to bottom is just excuses and lies, isn't it? Excuses, lies, and BS, as per the title of my show. They think we're idiots. They think we're fools. This is why I've said people can argue all day long. Every show I turn on, everyone's still talking about Ange or Frank. Argue about them all you want, people. I don't give a shit. This is bigger than Frank. This is bigger than Ange. This is bigger than Nuno or Conte or Jose. But you know what will happen? Spurs will get a win or a draw tomorrow against Arsenal, just hypothetically. And all of a sudden, all this BS gets swept under the carpet because no one's looking at it. We could win 3 games in a row. Everyone suddenly forgets. There you go. Players are great. Players are great. Everything's fine. No problems. And I don't know who it was. Which United creator did I see say this the other day? He said, look, brilliant that Carrick's had a great start at United with 4 wins out of 5. Don't let this take away from how badly we've been run. Don't let this take away from what this squad needs. It's an exercise in pulling wool, isn't it? It's an exercise in pulling wool over the eyes. And they do it brilliantly. I tell you what, Lang, Vinay, they're brilliant at it. They're absolutely brilliant at it. Because they come out with this crap and you've got reporters going, oh, he was spotting the money in. Give him credit. What do you mean give him credit? These guys built this club. Johan Lange put most of this, him and Paratici put this squad together that keeps getting injured, that can't score goals. They put this together. Let this sink in. The man that put this forward line together is talking to us about the great forwards we've had in our history. You know what, Johan? We know because we're the fans. We know our history. You don't know it. You can read about it. We live it. I watch these players. People in this chat watch these players. We watched Bale. We watched Van der Vaart. People watched Hoddle and Waddle and Clive Allen and Jimmy Greaves, however far back you want to go. We watched it. So don't you dare rock up and tell us about the top forwards we've had while signing Yangs and Tells and Odebers and Solankis and Richarlisons. Don't you dare mock us like that. This is what you built, mate. You built this. You can throw Frank under the bus. We can throw Ange under the bus or Joe. We can throw them all under the bus. We'll throw Tudor under the bus as well. Let's just get it out of the way. Let's throw them all under the bus before they even start. What does it matter? You lie and lie and lie and lie about what this club is going to be, what you're going to do, what you want to be, the ambition. Ambition, ambition, ambition. Project, project, project. Expectation, expectation, expectation. Go away. Stop lying to us. Stop lying to us. Show us. Get to this summer window. Bring in 5 or 6 really good footballers that walk into that 11 and we go, yes, that's better. That's better. Show us. Stop telling us. Because right now, tell me if you agree with me, guys and girls. Right now, I'm sitting here thinking, what date in September of 2026 are we going to get the next one of these sorts of comments? We tried in the summer window, but the World Cup was on. But Poch hadn't joined yet because he was with the USA. He wanted to assess the squad. We thought players were coming back from injury. We couldn't get what we wanted. We don't know the philosophy. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Just back the team. You got people like that Eureka. Did anyone see that? When that Eureka goes on to the Spurs 5, puts in a super chat about me being toxic when we've got owners and directors coming out with that loads of codswallop, and I'm told I'm toxic. Everyone, I'm the toxic one. Yeah, because I'm the one that put this squad together. Yeah, I'm the one that makes the decisions on managers and players. Yeah, it's me. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Lies after lies after lies and BS after BS. Excuses. If they knew there was a chance that Thomas Frank was going to be sacked. Now we're hearing from certain people, Thomas Frank didn't want Lookman, right? But they're telling us they knew that to make a decision. So bring in Lookman. Don't worry about Thomas Frank. Bring in Lookman. You telling me right now Igor Tudor wouldn't like Lookman playing on the left wing or up front tomorrow against Arsenal? But don't worry, there's fans going, yeah, I wouldn't have given Frank any money either. Forget Frank. Forget Frank. What about the football club? That's what I've tried to say to people for ages. We're so insistent on going, you wanted him. Look, it's a shit. Bigger picture. Bigger picture. Bigger picture. Players that were available and there, we didn't want to go for them. And then our industrious leader, Johan Lange, telling us no one was available, I'm afraid, people. No one was better. In the same month that they announced Sosa, we're being told no one's better than what we've got. Sure. So why did you buy Sosa? Nothing against the kid, but why? So across world football, every European country, every South American country, every Asian country, whatever, that's what you came back with, a 19-year-old left back. Like, just, are we stupid? Do you know what? I think we are. Sorry, everyone. You're all stupid. I'm stupid. We're all stupid because they talk to us like we're stupid. I would have more respect if Johan Lange came out and said, we failed. It's not good enough. We failed. Fine. We asked the fans, give us one more summer to prove what we're doing. Fine. But it's the excuses. Exactly, Dan. Exactly. Exactly. This is what I mean. Look at the last January windows. Tell, right? Werner, Tell, Sosa. What we doing? What we doing here? Lang, you put this group of forwards together, mate. You bought them. You bought most of Paratici, a couple. You bought most of them, and then you're telling us about good forwards. Sure, go and buy some good forwards then, mate. It's really not that difficult. We know what we are. We know we can't compete with City and Arsenal. But what? You think this is the best we can get? Solanke and Richarlison and Tell and Odegaard and Valise and Yang. And this is the best you could come up with as a director of football for this massive club, Tottenham Hotspur. So if you're going to come out and give an interview, be honest. We failed. Be honest. Be honest. Don't feed us shit that we don't believe. Don't sit there and insult our intelligence. There's going to be idiots that believe it. Of course there is. Of course there's going to be. There are idiots that go, oh my God, Solanke's amazing. Oh, Richarlison's good if you give him a run of games. Oh, let them have it. They're part of the problem, right? You build an average squad, you get average results, you finish in the bottom half of the table. Sure. I want Spurs to act like they say they're going to act. Act like you talk. Act like you talk. Stop coming out with all of this. I mean, that sentence was the one that got me. I've said it. Vinay's said it a number of times. We're here for on-field success. And then they have a transfer window like that in the summer and like that in January. And as I said, I won't change my mind, right? I won't change my mind. When everyone else was waxing lyrical about this summer transfer window, I called it negligent. Okay, but it's negligent. Some decent signings, some good signings, but negligent. Doesn't mean I have to hate all of them. Sure. So I've been to the protests. What do you want? Tom Ladd. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Tom Ladd, shall we? Let's see. Just before we ban Tom Ladd, let's see. When do we think the account was made? Guys, have a guess in the chat. When do we think the account was made? Here we go. Channel activity. Let's have a look. Let's see what he said. Let's have a look. To be fair, fair play to him. Not a new account, but Xavi Simons, a very good footballer that needs to be in a settled team with settled strikers and settled wingers, settled midfielders. It's not rocket science at all. You can't come into a shit show and suddenly be amazing. It just doesn't happen. Very good football. I tell you what I worry about more. If people can't see Xavi Simons' ability, I worry. Right? I do worry. Clearly a very talented footballer. I saw all this about Florian Wirtz at the beginning of the season. You've got to let people settle. But again, 1 week. Yeah, see, again, this is ridiculous. He's not a very good footballer. He's a very good footballer. Sorry, PSG. He's a very good footballer that needs time to settle, and he needs to settle into a settled team. Not one where it's a different 11 every week, different strikers to link up with, different wingers. But again, sorry, for me, I don't even know why I entertain that. Xavi Simons is not the problem at this football club. Never thought he's the problem. He's a good football player. Imagine he was in that Poch team in the number 10 position. You're seeing a completely different player. Agreed. Agreed. Again, this guy doesn't get football. Florian Wirtz is a very good footballer. What are we doing here? Florian Wirtz is a top footballer who's getting better and better and better. Well, how could I have talked about the same things every day when this interview only happened yesterday? Doesn't make sense. See you later, mate. We'll just block you. See you later. You don't have to watch. again, have a look at the bigger picture, right? We look at the bigger picture, and then you've got fans that want to come in and talk about Simmons being a flop. Simmons is not an issue at this football club. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Put players around him. Give him a ball-playing midfielder to play with. Give him 2 out-and-out top wingers for him to link up with. Give him a top centre forward to play balls into and off of. This isn't rocket science. But we go, that, like, Conor Gallagher hasn't done anything, but he's been here like 4 or 5 games in a shit show of a team. Like, what do you expect? You've got to build a proper team. That's what the summers are for. That's what January's for. And we didn't do it. We're so busy. That's what I mean. People like Plasma in the chat, they're so busy trying to point score on a player, something that they're not, again, probably 12 years of age, but they're not getting the bigger picture. Forget the point scoring. Who gives a shit? Xavi Simons is the only player right now at Spurs with technical ability. He's the only creative technical footballer in the entire squad that's fit right now. And that's the problem? No. That's not the problem. But people like, by the way, this is the guy that raves about Solanke. Solanke's amazing. Simmons is overrated. You're like, what? What? And when our fans do this all the time, there's a reason why PSG let him go. Yeah, we're not PSG. I don't know. There's a reason Barcelona let him go. Yeah, we're not PSG or Barcelona. Oh, I don't want Man City's offcasts. What? Yeah, but we're not Man City. Like, honestly, the things we say are absolutely hilarious. I think, listen, only my opinion, Xavi Simons for me, really good footballer. I think we're going to see the best of him next year. I actually think Poch, if he comes back, will get the best out of him in a different setup with different players around him. But look, Leicester losing again, by the way. Every YouTuber's talking about it because this is what's in the news at the moment. I don't understand people like you. Just don't watch. See you later. Go and watch Chris Cowling tell everyone how great the club is. Go and watch that. So funny. Idiots like this. Sorry, I'll call him an idiot. Idiots like this. Watch YouTube. Watch creators and then go, you talk about the same thing. Sorry, please give me a subject you would like me to talk about. Sure, no one's... Dude, you are 12, aren't you? No one's gassing him up. He's just a good footballer. Yeah, Ericsson was class. When Ericsson first joined, he wasn't like that, by the way. Again, people like you, I know you're young. I'm guessing you are young. I'm really guessing from your comments and the way you talk, right? When in Ericsson's first season, I remember being a bit like, oh, hang on, everyone's raved about this kid, but he's not doing a lot. Then he got better and better and better. Right? Listen, Christian Eriksen was class. I mean, Christian Eriksen was a joy to watch, right? Loved watching Christian Eriksen. Really good footballer in a really good team, in a really good setup. And what I don't think I think children like Plasma, they've probably grown up with a silver spoon in their mouth. Their parents have told them that everything's great, they're the best, and all that kind of stuff. What they don't understand is when you get a bit older, you realize that you've got to have every piece of the jigsaw to make it work. You can't just drop a good player in and go, why is he not doing? Well, what's the setup around him? Is the team gelling? Have we got a consistent lineup going out there where relationships are being built? They don't get that. They just go flop. Whoa. Listen. Yeah, exactly, Dan. Yeah, no one said he was better than Ericsson. Listen, who knows in the future what he's going to be? But it's madness. It's absolute madness. I loved Christian Eriksen. I don't know why his name's coming into this. But couldn't we do this, right? I'll tell you what. Let's throw it back at him, Dan. Right? Dan, let's throw it back at Plasma, who raves about Dominic Solanke, right? Raves about him, loves him. Couldn't I say, we've had Teddy Sheringham. people like Plasma out here gassing up Dominic Solanke. We could all do that, right? We could all do that. Klinsmann, Kane, Sheringham, Berbatov, Defoe, Keane. He's out here bigging up Solanke. That's how you know he's a kid. That's how you know he's a kid, right? Because they haven't seen these players that we've seen. They've not seen these players. Not true. Just not true. Again, this is something, again, your daddy's probably told you that you're the best at everything, right? Just you're the best. You're the best. You're the best. It's not true. So why are Man United's players suddenly doing better? Why are Man United's players suddenly doing better? Not triggered, mate. I just can't stand when idiots like you come in here and tell me what I should talk about on my channel. Start your own channel. Start your own channel. We'll all watch you. I've worked hard starting my channel. What have you done? Nothing. Look. Right. But whether Amrin was a donkey, whatever, what it means is, notice how Man United now as well got their players back fit, haven't they? So Carrick's able to put out more of the first 11 than before. Now you're seeing better from Bruno, better from Mbuemo, better from Cunha. Because it's not just always top players. You've got to remember, he's just joined the Premier League as well. It's crazy. I really hope these people never work at football clubs or in any sort of coaching capacity, because they just think everyone's going to be amazing from moment one. As I said, I saw this with Ertz. Beginning of the season, all those YouTube creators, the younger ones, calling him 007 because he's had 7 games with no goals and assists. And I've always said, give him time. He's a really good player. But everyone wants it now. Give him time. We know you could. I think if anyone watches Simmons and doesn't see the ability, that worries me more than his performances at the moment. And I think he's had some good performances, but he's inconsistent like the rest of the team because it's not a good team. But the price tag's not on him. Again, this is silly. The price tag's not on him, and it's his first season. But he's getting better and better and better. Again, if we're going to talk about people living up to price tags, it's just going to get silly, right? Because more and more players are going for big fees that they can't live up to. I mean, it's always the people with no real name and stupid pictures that come out with this bollocks, isn't it? Like Plasma and that guy. It's crazy. I don't know what to expect. Too many injuries. I don't see where we're scoring goals from, Miguel. I'll be honest. I don't see where we're scoring goals from. That's my worry. Set pieces, maybe. I genuinely don't know where we're going to get goals from, mate. Is my worry, and I think you guys are going to be well up for this after the shit show at Wolves. I think you guys are going to be well up for this. I'll bite your hand off for a draw. I'll put it that way, Gal. I'll bite your hand off for a draw. Yeah, again, Son first season, everyone wrote him off, didn't they? Moussa Dembele didn't do anything when he joined Tottenham, did he? Son, Ericsson, loads of these players didn't do anything in year one. But hey, yeah, exactly. This is what I mean. I mean, we paid 55, 60 million. How many goals he got in a Spurs shirt? But again, it shouldn't be about the point scoring. Should it? Let me do some super chats. Big up to Rich Bull. Said, should have spent big loan fees to cover for injuries. Bang on. Bang on. Bring in some loans. Bring in some loans, Johan. Cover yourself. Bring in some loans. But he didn't. Big up to you, Rich Bull. Big up to DB Forever. Always here with the super stickers. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, DB. Appreciate you, my man. Always have done. Always will. Thank you. And John Turney has said, Lang is a con man. Bang on. His resignation would be the only way to take responsibility. Agreed. Data recruitment, signing kids. Agreed. He has no clue. Agreed. Underqualified. Agreed. Absolutely bang on. Absolutely bang on. Look, sometimes right players, right time, right manager, right system, right setup. You can't drop players into a shit show and say, go on, go, be amazing. It just doesn't always work like that. Absolutely. Guys, girls, I'm going to leave it there. I'm back at 2:45, so I've got a 2-hour break. I need to go and walk the dogs and get some fresh air and stuff. I'll be back at 2:45 for a live score show. We'll do the Acca Watch. We'll get some guests on. Yeah, agreed. Gareth Bale was shit at Spurs when he first joined as well. Yes. But people don't remember this because they're children like Plasma and they don't remember these players. Big up to you all. Listen, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you understand this is coming from a place of a frustrated Spurs fan who is seeing the same shit over and over and over again. Let me see if anyone is live. Let me see if anybody is live where I can send you all. Where are we? Nope. Live. Who we got live? Anyone across the YouTube sphere? Who we got? Is anyone live? Upcoming. I can't see anyone's live. Hang on. Am I being an idiot? Someone must be live. Football Inca live. Right. There we go. Why does that not come up on my... I do not know why that did not come up. Football... There you go. I'll send you over to Sean and Johnny. Just say Savva Raid or FHTV Raid. Send them the love. Please subscribe to them. Much love. Take care. And as always, Johan Lange out.